There we go. All right. So hopefully we figure out the technical difficulty. All right. So I'm on my phone tonight, so I feel a little bit weird because I'm looking straight up at the camera, but that's okay. It's a little different. So this is the Halloween circle. And so what I thought we would do to get us started is do just a quick meditation to kind of get us relaxed and centered. Because we're going to let our intuition flow a little bit. So if we're here live, that's cool. If we're here in the replay, there'll be some things that you can do on your own. And this will still be a good exercise to get yourself centered before doing everything in the circle. So I'll get you to close your eyes, and we're going to take in a deep breath and exhale through your mouth really, really, really slow. And inhaling again. And then on this exhale, we're going to release any tension that we might be holding on to, or apprehension, or any fears or insecurities. And then on the next inhale, we're going to draw up our energy field right up through our spine, right through the top of our head, and we're going to let it blow over and letting or allowing that energy field to expand. And on our next inhale, we'll be inhaling, feeling of being grounded and centered and in alignment, opening up our intuition and our thoughts and our minds and possibilities, and letting go of everything else. All right, so I just thought we would do a really quick talk first about Halloween. So I always want to pronounce it the wrong way, but the ancient way of pronouncing Halloween is Samhain, and it's spelt not how it sounds whatsoever. It's spelled like Samhain,
Oh,
but
that's weird.
I know, but it's actually a Gaelic word, and there's a lot of Gaelic words that how they're pronounced is nothing like how we would pronounce them in English.
Yeah.
So in Gaelic, it means summer's end.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, so for like pagans and Wiccans, this is sort of like their end of year.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like their New Year's Eve. Well, not tonight, but Halloween
Yeah.
is sort of like their New Year's Eve in a sense. And so their belief is that on that day, on Halloween, that's when the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest. So that's why there's always like, even in movies, you see, like that there's more ghosts or there's more whatever
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So I think that that's pretty cool. I didn't want to spend like a whole lot of time talking about that, but I just thought those were a couple things that were interesting. And I will have let's see here. Nope. Okay. I will have a handout to go with this as well. So the other thing I thought would be really fun is to go over like the correspondences that are sort of traditional for Samhain or for Halloween. So if you were to think of animals that would be associated with Samhain, what animals do you think there would be? This is like a pop quiz. Not really.
I don't know. I don't know why, but a goat comes to mind.
Oh yeah, that's cool. So what they have written here, and I mean, there's always different interpretations, so this
Yeah.
is never anything set in stone. But they have a bat, or a black cat, or a
Yep.
raven, or an owl.
Yeah.
Sort of traditional for what we would see for decorations and
Yeah.
stuff. And then, what do you think about for essential oils? Because I know you're into essential oils as well.
I would say like clove,
Hmm.
cinnamon. What else? I was actually looking that up the other day and I got a bunch of Halloween ones, but yeah, clove
Yeah.
stands out for sure.
Yeah. On this one, they have sandalwood.
Yes, that's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually diffusing frankincense and
Yes.
copaiba right now. I thought
Ooh.
that would be a really nice scent for this. And what about the colors?
Well, orange and black,
Yep.
purple,
Yep.
yeah, yellow.
Yep. And they've got gold and silver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good ones too.
And what was the other one? Ooh, what about stones? Crystals and stones.
Ooh,
What do you think of?
I would pick maybe like a bumblebee jasper,
Cool.
or Halloweeny looking, or black obsidian.
Yeah. Obsidian's on here.
What else?
And onyx and jet.
Onyx,
They're all
yeah.
black. And carnelian. That's like a reddish orangey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pyrite or hematite.
Oh yeah, that would
They're
be a
kind of
good
like
one.
shiny and silvery.
Yeah, yeah.
Amethyst, because it's purple.
Yeah. They've got smoky quartz
Yeah, that's a good one too.
and bloodstone.
Bloodstone's really nice. I actually have a
Yeah.
couple of those I found and they're really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why, I think these are always really cool. This is just something that I found on Pinterest.
Oh, that's
These
cool.
are,
Yeah.
I always think they're really cool, but then I also really like to go with what I feel drawn to or where my
Yeah.
intuition takes me. So,
Yeah.
for example, you listed ones that weren't on this.
Yeah.
Say you wanted to set up your own little kind of ceremony or celebration, I would totally choose what you were drawn to versus following something
What's on
else.
there? Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think it's kind of neat to see.
Yeah.
This is does it say? I don't have the company name that made this.
I think I shared a couple things from them too. There was like a simmer pot recipe and
Yeah.
they're really
Yeah,
cool.
so I think it's really cool, but then at the same time, it might just be me though. I always have a really hard time following somebody else's thing. I try to
Yeah.
always kind of make something my own, right?
Yeah.
So I love looking up different ideas, and then, like I said, I just make it my own. And then I just noticed this one too. They've got flowers, and they got calendula, cosmos, chrysanthemum, mandrake. That's from Harry Potter.
Ooh, it does sound like Harry Potter.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think those are just really neat. Anyways, I just wanted to share those because I thought they were fun. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do a kind of a large card pull.
Okay.
So each card is going to represent something different. So if you're watching on the replay, you can, definitely listen to the answers because this is a collective card pull. So you don't necessarily have to be here for it.
Mhm.
But if you are listening on the replay and you have your own set of cards, you can also, just follow along step by step and pull your own card. And Courtney, if you want to too, if you feel like your own deck of cards, you could pull your own. But what I'm going to do is pull a collective reading for everybody. So again, whether you're live or you're listening, we did have a few people that they weren't able to make it on. So I need to figure out this technology. And like I said, this is recorded. So if you don't remember something, because we're actually going to do 12 cards.
Oh, wow.
So if there's something, so if there's something that you don't remember and you want to go back to, you will be able to. So where this is, again, like in the Celtic or Wiccan culture where it's their end of year, that's why we're looking at things that we're ready to let go of and what we're ready to bring in. So kind of clearing out all of that guck so that we can make room to manifest and to receive. So this card pull is based on that. Yeah. And what I could do too later is I could take a picture of all of the cards because
that would be
the video
helpful.
seems pretty clear. I was doing a couple videos today on my laptop and it actually was not very clear at all.
I know, that's why I don't get my minds like that. And it's like a new computer too.
I know. So what I can do later is like take a picture of all 12 cards like in the layout. And then you can also look at them like for your own visuals and see what intuition hits that you get from it as well. All right. So card number one. Card number one is the archetype. So what archetype or what energy have you been holding on to? And are you integrating and embracing that energy? So let's see. First one is the Chariot. It is pretty clear. I love this card deck so much. This card deck is the Lightseers, and it's my favorite right now. I just love all of it. So this is pretty cool. So what I see from this card right away is that there is a duality because we've got the black horse and the white horse. So it's almost, I feel like the archetype that there could be two, or possibly that we're flip-flopping between two, which actually does sort of resonate with me.
And it's black and white, so it's like positive and negative.
That's right. Yeah.
Or like yin and yang.
Anything. Yeah. Open and closed.
Yeah.
Right. And then there is a boy on top that it's funny. He's sitting on top of the carriage. He's actually not guiding the carriage at all. So the horses are guiding the carriage. So the horses are definitely the archetype. So that's what we've got, Chariot. So again, you might get different hits. If you are doing this at home and you're pulling your own cards, then you can sort of disregard this. But the first one is archetype. The archetype that we are holding on to, and if we're actually integrating that archetype. So I would say, when we ask the question, are we integrating or embracing that energy, this duality of this card, I don't really think we are. Number two is goodbyes. What are we saying goodbye to from the past year? What energies are you ready to let go of? And what things no longer feel that you no longer feel like you need to keep? Oh, this is a fun one. Super fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that pretty? So that's the Queen of Wands. And what I'm looking at here is it looks like she's already released it.
Yeah.
She looks so happy.
She does, yeah.
Right? And then having her hand up like this is kind of, like
victory,
a celebration. Like she's like, yes.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe perhaps that duality is not that strong from the first card. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's an easy thing to step into. And they actually have the same colors in each of them. That's kind of neat. I'll show you side by side. They have the same
Oh, that's
color. Isn't
cool.
that neat? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is releases. So, what do you need emotionally to release in order to create more space? Can you identify where this energy is coming from and its point of origin? So, I pulled this one. This one is actually the King of Wands. So, there's a masculine energy here. There's actually a
And then a
strong energy.
lion. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like that line to me is like bold, courage, right? So when we're asking the question, like, what do we need emotionally to release? It could be the fear,
Mm.
right? Like it looks like this lion is ready not to fight, but he's ready to step in,
Yeah.
right? Like he's ready, he's there and he's watching and he's ready. Again, if something is coming up different for you, that's totally cool. Totally cool. All right, next one is Ace of Cups. So for number 4, it's what dreams do you have that you've denied yourself? What possibilities can you bring forward and embrace? What ideas and dreams have you not chased yet? So what I think is really interesting with this card is it's like creation.
That's
So
cool.
I feel it's something that we create. So perhaps the dreams that we've denied is creating something for ourselves.
Mm.
And where it's the hands, I also see Reiki.
Yeah. And
Right?
like it's a ball of light in the middle too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what I want to do there, that's better. What I want to do when we finish tonight's call is I'm going to do like send a little bit of Reiki to everybody. So to, live and to joins on the replay. So we'll finish
Mhm.
off. Number 5 is lessons. What lessons do you have to learn this coming year? That's cool. What are you ready to integrate from last year? So this one is the card that everyone's usually really afraid of. It's the devil. But what I like about this card, and I find that this is a really cool imagery for it, is down here in this corner is kind of like he's holding a puppet, right? But what's
Okay.
really interesting, and I mean, the puppet doesn't look happy. The puppet, I'll take a picture, but the puppet's got his ears or his hands like this over like his head and his ears.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't really look like he's happy. But what I think is really super cool about this card is that the strings, there are strings from his hand, but what I love is that his hand is not in like a firm grip.
It just has them
It's
laying,
just,
sitting there.
so basically, this person down here that's suffering is doing it to himself,
Mm,
right?
I get
So
that.
yeah, and I feel like this is an aspect of self. Like there's 2 different aspects of self. Like I don't
Yeah.
feel like this is a different person. This is just a different aspect of self. You could look at this as maybe just like your shadow side.
Yeah.
So it's not really anything scary at all, but I think a lot of people are always really afraid of the devil card, but I think this is a really clear depiction of what I feel like it means.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what lessons do you need to learn this coming year is, well, there could be self-sabotage,
Mm-hmm.
get rid of that. It could be, yeah, I feel like that's kind of the big theme. That's what's coming up for me anyway. So
Yeah.
and also the next thing that just came up is giving yourself a bit of grace,
Yeah.
right? Is, um, So say you're making a plan for yourself for the new year and you slip, it's giving yourself some grace. Don't fall into this because the ties to what you did are not super strong.
Yeah.
You can literally break free super quickly. And they're self-imposed.
Yeah.
Nothing is nothing or nobody is actually holding the strings except for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is called leaps. So what leaps of faith should you take? That's a cool one. And where have you been holding back? So this one, again, is a little dark. So in this one, she's got some crows. I've never pulled this card, so it's brand new to me. She's got some crows, and there's attachments. Crows, or it's either, no, I don't think it's her hair. It kind of looks like there's a little bit of string from her hair, and the crows aren't like attacking her head. They're just kind of pulling on these little strings. And she's actually blindfolded. So it's a little creepy, but if we put it into the context of leap of faith, that's exactly what a leap of faith is not always knowing the outcome.
Yeah.
Right? So she's blinded because
Yeah.
you can't see the outcome. That's exactly what a leap of faith is having trust.
Yeah.
Right? She's also got this little symbol. If I can bring it, I might not see it, but she's got this little symbol on her arm that is almost like what's it called? Like a scale in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a perfectly balanced scale. And she's got some magic that's coming out of her hand too. So I don't feel that she's super afraid. She doesn't look afraid to me.
No.
But she's almost going into something blinded, and in a sense, almost with a feeling of being attacked.
Yeah.
But that's your leap of faith.
Yeah.
Is to keep going. Next one, skills. What new skills can you embody and embrace to have the new year come full circle? Or another way to look at it is what needs to be in your toolbox? I've never pulled this card yet either. This one's super fun. So she's sitting on a beach. She's got a bowl of something. It could be like rocks. And what's really neat is it's like a tunnel down below. Right here. And then there's like a swirly sort of magic coming up from the tunnel and right into her, actually. It goes right onto her shoulders. So that's pretty cool. So skills. Let me see. That's kind of a tough one.
That is. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. I'm getting I'm getting magic like I did, like I said. And actually, I just noticed she's got her foot in another bowl, and that's what's actually emptying into the circle, but then it's coming back to her. So that's kind of interesting. Ooh. So, okay. So that just came to mind is what if the new skill is giving and receiving? Right? So what you give, you receive. So maybe the new skill is service and giving, and right? Because you'll end up receiving it back. Yeah. Now that was a toughie. Next one is shadows. What elements of your shadow are you going to have to face? And what have you kept hidden? Ooh, another kind of creepy one. So this one, I pulled this one actually earlier today. So this one is, there's a heart, there's strings or cords attached to the heart. And that's what these two lines are. So it's not actually broken. It's almost like when you have like a cake and if you put like a string through it,
Yeah.
kind of like created like a line or like an indent, but it's not broken all the way through.
Yeah.
And then there's a string that comes down here and it's wrapped around her right here. And she actually seems like she's in a bit of pain. So in terms of heart, so I guess the first thing that comes to mind would be love. So what elements of your shadow work are you going to have to face? And what have you kept hidden?
Mm.
So whatever, and again, if you're at home, if you want to follow along with these cards and you get a different intuitive hit, or if you're pulling your own cards, that's cool too. But if you're looking at this one, like what does this one say to you?
Mm.
Because what it could say to me could be completely different. You know, like you could know, you could see something that it's just like, all I see is, you know, this tree, and that tree means this
Yeah.
to me, right? So there's no wrong answers. The one thing that I really feel with this card is attachments.
Yeah, that's what I get too with like the heartstrings coming out.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like it has a lot to do with like attachments to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So we have cords to everybody that we encounter. Like
Mm-hmm.
you and I would have a cord, and we could have a cord with, you know, the mailman if we see him a lot, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
anybody that we know, even it doesn't matter how strongly we know them, we can have cords with. So, and sometimes those cords need to be cut for whatever
Yeah.
reason, but that doesn't mean that you need to physically remove somebody
Yeah.
from your life. It can be energetically removing the cord so that there's say no more triggers,
Yeah.
right? No more drama, no more triggers, like that sort of thing. So I feel like elements of your shadow work that, or, you know, this is collectively, that we would need to face in this coming year is, I kind of feel like what is no longer serving us.
Yeah.
Like, what are we holding on to, or who are we holding on to that's not moving us forward?
Yeah. That's what I see with it too, because it's like it's wrapped around her and like she's in pain or suffering or whatever.
Yeah.
And she needs to cut those cords that are around it.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Cool. Next one is, this is a fun one, manifestations. So what will be easy for you to manifest this next year? What amazing skills and gifts do you already possess that you can call forward for an even bigger gain and growth? Ooh, this is a fun one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, super pretty. So again, it's sort of another duality.
Yeah.
In a sense, similar to like that very first card. Definitely has something to do with animals. I feel like there's embracing her fiery side, her lioness. And if you notice too, it's the lion and the lamb,
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
right? So it's
Hmm.
like, it's almost like embracing both qualities.
Yeah, like the lamb's her soft side, and then
Yeah.
maybe the lion's her like more wild side.
Yeah. So what will be easy for you to manifest this year? That's an interesting one. Because I also feel like femininity from this card,
Yeah,
right? Like I feel like
yeah.
it's
It's almost like the warrior in her.
yeah. So maybe it's not a manifestation of something physical or material. It's more of this feeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And then what amazing skills do you already possess? Well, that's what I feel like this is showing, is that you already have it in you,
Yeah.
or we already have it in us, right? We can be the lion and love the lamb, and we can be the lamb and half the lion. Like
You can be both at
it
once.
all works. Yeah, super cool. All right, next one is balance. What will you be able to bring in for better balance, rhythm, dance, or harmony? Where can you create better flow so that you feel light? Oh, this is fun. So this one is 3 of Pentacles. So I think it's like a loom of some sort. Like they're making like a wall hanging.
Mm.
And the 3 of Pentacles are like embroidered onto it or knitted onto it. So they actually have balls of yarn or balls of string.
Hmm.
And there's 3 of them. So that also seemed, it's not just a one person. Every other card so far actually had only one person on it. This is the first one to have 3. So when we go back to the question, what will you be able to bring in for better balance, rhythm, dance, or harmony? It looks like, gatherings, community, working together.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like what you'll be able, or what we will be able to bring in for balance. And then where can you create better flow so that you feel light? Again, I would say, not always maybe being by yourself, working together as a team, reaching out and asking for help. Those are
Mm-hmm.
all things that are coming up for me. Yeah, super cool. Next one, boundaries. What lines and boundaries did you not stay firm about? Are there new or better enforced boundaries that you can create? All right. Ooh, this one's really fun. So this one's the wheel. So she's balancing up on top of the wheel, doing the tree pose.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's actually like, you can't really see them, but just behind like her lower leg, there
Mm-hmm.
is each symbol for air, fire, water, and earth. So all 4 of the symbols are back there. So this one's a tough one because she, again, is by herself. She also has, I don't know if this will mean anything to anybody, but it looks like she's got, it's fuzzy dice around her neck. You know, those fuzzy dice that people have like in their
Yeah.
car?
Don't
That,
people use them for like luck or whatever?
yeah.
I think that's what it
Yeah. So it
means.
looks like that's what she's wearing
And
them like a
then
necklace.
like it has the 4 humors, so and that has to do with like a lot with your body too, right? And like
Yeah.
Chinese medicine and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
maybe I don't know.
Yeah. This is a tough one. The only thing that kind of comes up for me, because she's all by herself, is I don't feel like it's actually saying what boundaries did you not stay firm about, but what sort of comes up is where did you not set a boundary and you kind of just went on your own, like you
Yeah.
kind of avoided
When you
burst
wanted to
in.
get that one, but yeah, you avoided
Yeah,
it.
like avoided versus actually creating a boundary. I read a thing the other day about boundaries that I thought was really cool, and it was people create boundaries so that you can stay in their life,
Mm-hmm.
not to shut you out, right? So when people communicate a boundary, it's like,
Yeah.
this is how I want you to stay, like continue being in my life,
To be
not
able to have
and
like a healthy relationship with them and not
exactly, right?
have like,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I think that's really interesting. Okay. The other thing that I'm noticing too is that there is again a little bit of a duality here. There's some white and
Mm-hmm.
then there's some
And
black.
black. Yeah.
Yeah. Last one is learnings. What type of learning and experiences can you say yes to this year that will create more for yourself? I've never seen this one either. This one's really pretty. So this one is a Two of Pentacles. She's got a purse. And then, so she's got a purse down here that has like a pentacle design on it. And then this one, it would look like it's a purse, but
It
it's
almost looks
like,
like a moon.
yeah, it's like see-through though.
Hmm.
Again, kind of a duality. Seems like there's lots of duality things coming up for me. Um,
Hmm.
so what was the question? Learnings. What types of learning and experiences can you say yes to and create more for you? Hmm. The original thing that first came up was creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really seeing a whole lot. So again, if you're watching the replay and something else is coming up for you and you're like, oh, I see this and I feel like it means that, that's super, super cool. But for this one, I'm not seeing
I don't
really a
see
type
anything.
of learning.
Hmm.
Unless it's balance, because it is two.
Could be.
So learning
Yeah,
to
that one's a
balance.
difficult one.
Yeah, it is.
But she looks content.
Yeah, she does. And it doesn't really, it's not like these two things are blowing away from her.
No,
She's just
like she's
kind
kind of
of
just
like
harnessing
holding
them.
them, like she's not holding on to them tightly, but it's like they're blowing, but they're not blowing away. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense. Yeah. So if
Cool.
anybody has anything else, I think that's super cool. All right. So I think that was fun. So again, if you want to go back like and listen to the replay and go over them, but I will take a picture. I'll try to take one of all 12 cards together if I can. If not, I'll do 6 and 6. And then yeah.
Cool.
So those are some things too that you could journal on as well. Like if something came up for you that is, I don't know, maybe even like a trigger came up, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah. So those are, so that I'm gonna also share, like I said, like a handout.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have 3 journal prompts that I thought would be really interesting. So the first one would be what resonated with you for this card pull, and maybe what didn't, and maybe also what triggered, right? Because there could be something that came up, like even just an image that is just like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But that's an opportunity to ask yourself, why don't you like it? What is it that you don't like? And does it represent something else that you don't like?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's all like clues that you can follow. And then just really thinking about using the card as the example, but then also what is it that you're ready to let go of? And what is it that you're ready to bring in? And then I'm going to share a statement that we can write. So I always like putting the day because that just sort of makes it more solid. So on this day, which is October, what day are we?
26.
October 26th. Okay. On this day, October 26th, 2022, I'm ready to let go of, and then you would just fill in the blank. I'm ready to clear my field and make room for new. And on this day, again, October 26, 2022, I'm ready to invite, fill in the blank, into my life. I am open and ready to receive. And then those can be two things, you know, what I like, I think I shared, I shared in our coaching program that what I really like to do when I'm journaling now is like starting off with a prompt, or maybe it's a trigger that I'm trying to work through, and seeing where it takes me. And asking more questions, like not necessarily getting answers, but going from like question to, well, that makes me think of this, and that makes me think of that question, and this question, and this question, and this question, and just seeing where that takes you and how many questions you can ask. And then what I find after doing an exercise like that is you gain so much more clarity. Because it's not always about like getting the answer, if that makes any sense. It's like you do, but you don't. Like it's always being open to the possibility and that there's different options. And I find there's a lot of what's the word? Clarity is the only word that's coming to mind, but anyway, I don't know. I lost it. I don't know. I lost it. All right. So I thought that was really fun. I love these cards so much.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
They are really pretty. They're my new favorite. I have a couple others, but these are the ones I go to all the time now. Because I find that's what I like about cards is when they have really, really clear or really pretty images, it makes it easier to like intuitively create your own interpretation with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
I have some cards like my hold on. Like I have my Moon series cards, which are also really pretty, but there's not really a whole lot to go off of. Like if you're reading them, you know, in like a card pull like this, like they're gorgeous, but they're more of a card that you would sort of ask a question, pull the card, and sometimes maybe even read the book. Right? But I've been really playing around with like trying to intuitively have my own interpretation. All right. So that's basically all that I had for tonight.
Okie dokie, that was fun.
So I thought what we could do is we'll go back to kind of like a meditation. I'll get you guys to close your eyes again. And what I'm going to do is warming up my hands. I'm going to send you guys some Reiki. And it's going to go to exactly where it needs to go. And if you allow your field to receive, then you will. And if you don't want to, that's okay. You don't have to. You can kind of put it on like a pause button. So when you are ready to receive, it can drop in. But if you're not ready right now, that's okay. We'll ask for this Reiki that we're receiving to make that transition of letting go and then receiving really easy and seamless. And perhaps there is effort, but it's not difficult. It's actually effort, but an enjoyable process. So what I would do now, we can open our eyes, is I would make sure that we drink some water today. And so the cool thing about Reiki is like when we do it as a session, usually a session is like anywhere from like 30 to 60 minutes, but it has a lasting effect. So that it doesn't really, you're not cut off at that time, right?
Yeah.
Of Reiki. So it's still like working its magic after the fact. So even though we only sent just a little bit or for a short period of time, I mean, that ripple effect is still going to be happening once we finish this call. So that's the cool thing about Reiki. Right? Did you have any questions or anything?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll check in with the other girls and
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't know. I will master this Zoom thing really soon.
Okie dokie. Well, have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. And like I said, this will be recorded. So if anybody wants to go back and listen, and I will also have the worksheet to go along with it as well. So anyway, thank you. Have
Later.
a good night.
You too.
Happy Halloween.
You too.